Traveling up from the coastal area into the lake country of the Hakone Mountains, you stop for a look at 10 Province Pass. In a magnificent sweeping view, one can see 10 Japanese provinces, and dominating the entire view, world-famous Mount Fuji. That afternoon, you go rowing on Lake Yamaguchi, from which you get another view of the mighty snow-capped mountain. Soon after, you're in Kyoto, ancient capital city of Japan. Kyoto is still the cultural center of Japan, containing a wealth of fine ancient art treasures. Everything in Kyoto emphasizes the old and traditional, such as the ancient ceremonial dances performed by the famous dancers of this city. A day later, you find that Japan is more than beautiful scenery and quaint customs. From a sleepy little agricultural village, Osaka became one of the big industrial centers in Japan. In a tremendous effort, the Japanese government converted a totally mechanically unskilled population into a nation of great industrial capacity. They are far ahead of the rest of Asia and rank with the leading industrial powers of the world. This becomes a lot more significant when you realize that Japan is the only non-communist country in Asia that can build a diesel engine. It's no wonder the communists are willing to risk a great deal to gain control of this industrial power. Communists are in a minority in Japan, but communist agents work night and day here to gain their objectives. They are specialists in creating incidents. They build it up for fiery anti-American hate campaigns. Agitators like these are looking for opportunities that will involve Americans. The very presence of Americans near these meetings causes an explosive reaction. Look, Americans interfering in Japanese politics. Why don't they go home and mind their own business? The only protection from this kind of talk is by avoiding political demonstrations. Most Japanese will respect you for doing so while you're a guest in their country. You continue your trip as far south as Hiroshima, scene of the devastating atomic explosion during the last days of World War II. Most of the city was leveled to the ground. Proof of the power of the bomb is everywhere, mute but emphatic. There is another kind of evidence, too, years after the mushroom cloud has faded away. Evidence in the form of new buildings, schools, and roads. And a new spirit which says clearly, we shall not go the way of the past. From these ruins, we shall rebuild our nation on the principles of the other nations of the free world. From Hiroshima, you start on the way back north toward Tokyo. As you roll past mile after mile of Japanese countryside, you can't help but be impressed by the energy of the people who rebuilt this country after the horrible destruction. You can see it everywhere. In the fast diesel trains that speed by, and in the up-to-date office buildings. But along with the modern, you see evidence that the old traditional customs will always be very important here. You see a contest of jabusame, archery on horseback. And you take time to watch a match between two sumo wrestlers. Once, your car is held up by a group celebrating a festival. It could be one of many, Dolls Festival, Star Festival, or a dozen others. The Japanese year is full of celebrations. On festival nights, it looks and sounds like the 4th of July and Mardi Gras all rolled into one. One thing becomes apparent very shortly after you arrive in Japan. In a way, everything the Japanese do is part of a strict ritual. Here, a woman performs the centuries-old tea ceremony, an elaborate ritual developed through the ages. You probably won't understand it at first, just as many of our customs would be equally as puzzling to them. Early the next afternoon, you approach the climax of your trip, Tokyo, one of the great cities of the world, capital of Japan, and home for 5.5 million people. A strange mixture, ancient philosophies trying to adjust to the modern, like this situation.
I am a production manager in a factory where toys of all types are made. It is an important position. My salary is 10,000 yen, which is about $30 a week. Not very much, is it, for living in a country suffering with high inflation. Yet most Japanese workers can never hope to make half as much. Our homes are shabby. We cannot afford electrical appliances, washing machines, refrigerators. These luxuries will be out of reach for us for a long time to come. Please don't keep telling us your way of doing things is better. We cannot afford your way. Let us learn what you have to teach us, bit by bit, in our own way.
Tokyo is also home of the emperor, who still lives on the palace grounds, but no longer revered by his people as a god. On a height near the imperial palace are the real rulers of Japan, the Diet, Japan's Senate and House of Representatives. On Tokyo's most famous street, you can go shopping outside of the PX for souvenirs. There are all sorts of wonderful buys, not only in the large department stores, but in the stalls that line the sidewalks. In front of one, you watch an old bargainer at work.
Somebody else 1,500 yen sell.
Yeah, all right. Well, I buy it for 600 yen. Then we're all set.
Yeah, I give you, how many do you want?
Huh?
Buy. How many?
Just one, 600 yen.
Yeah, I give you fair price, 900 okay.
900?
Yes, sir.
What do you think I am, a millionaire? 600 yen, that's it.
That's it, I don't make money, you understand?
Oh, you make cock-darn money.
No chump, what you gonna do?
Oh, God. You probably own a chain of restaurants on the side.
All right.
600 yen.
You say 600, right? I say 900. But it's different, 750, right?
750?
Yes, sir. I hope
That's
you
still
come
pretty
up.
steep.
You come up 150, I come down 150,
Oh,
right?
that's your psychology, huh? All right, I go up 50. 650 yen.
Yeah, okay, last price, more 50 yen give me. 700, right?
700 yen?
Right.
Well,
Okay.
you're getting pretty close there. All right, well, we'll take that along for 700 yen then.
Okay.
At night, the Ginza comes alive with brilliant neon. There are shows to be seen, Japanese style, or a routine more familiar to Americans. Well, there's the picture. You may forget some of the details, but the important thing to remember is patience and understanding.
Now hear this. All personnel will prepare to disembark.